Welcome back to the ticket setup series. In today's session, we're going to continue to focus in on the service catalog and associated templates and make our templates available in the end user request portal via the visual service catalog. So in previous parts of this setup series section, we created a Microsoft Teams access request template and form. We have worked on it, created it, we've made it available in Teams. Now we're going to focus in on making it available in the web experiences. Now, I mentioned this in the first video of this section around templates, but the moment I created this template and form, it was available to the the agents inside of the agent portal, which is web.tikit.ai. It also becomes available in the end user portal immediately when I create the catalog item and the associated phrases. So I'll show this means in practice, but effectively it is available currently to end users and agents in the web experiences. However, you'll also want to make this available in the visual service catalog component of the end user portal. So I'll show how we set that up, and then I'll show what that means in practice. So if I travel over to the settings area, I want to highlight something I did in the previous section, which was the knowledge section, is I created some service offerings. These service offerings are parent anchors or items that these knowledge articles and templates will be promoted into as request offerings. So in the previous example, I created an IT service offering and a facilities service offering. I only put stuff in IT, one knowledge article, but I can put items in either of them because there are service offerings for both now. So because I did this in a previous session, I'm not going to do it here in the knowledge area of the service catalog. But what I'll do here is I'll promote this Microsoft Teams access request form into the IT service offering as a request offering. So I'll come back here to this catalog item, and you'll see here, this time I'm actually going to churn on enable request offering. Talked about a little bit right when I created this template, but now I'm going to turn it on. The moment I turn it on, that's going to allow for me to promote this catalog item, this template, into the service catalog, the visual service catalog, as a request offering. So you'll see this request offering tab light up, and I will give this request offering a title now, Microsoft Teams access request. The description is optional. I'll type one here so you can see how that feels. Use this form to submit access requests to different Microsoft teams in the business. Here I'm going to choose a service offering I want to promote that into. I'm choosing IT here. And then the order is actually pretty important. As you add more offerings, the templates are going to go in one section and the knowledge articles are going to go in another section. And then in those sections, you can define how you want them ordered. So this is my first one. So I'll do a 1 here. Maybe if I had 10, I want this to be number 7. So I can choose the order I want for these items here by specifying the order here. I'll click save here because I'm happy with that. And what you'll see here is that this template now has a request offering and a service offering, and it's been promoted into the end user portal. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you first the end user experience and how that feels. And then I'm going to show you the agent experience and how that feels. So I'm going to move over to my end user. Her name is Adele. And what we'll do here is we'll travel over to the end user portal, the request portal here. And what we'll do is we will refresh this. I'm not sure if I'm logged in. We'll find out. Yep, I am. And what you'll see here is dynamically that Microsoft Teams access request has surfaced itself under the IT service offering as a request offering here. Now, again, we have different sections of service offering. There's the templates, which we put into the request offerings, and then we have the knowledge articles, which are also request offerings, but they're kind of their own section on their own, so you can separate out forms versus knowledge articles. Now, if I were to select that request offering, what you'll see here is the form that I was able to access in Teams is available to me here as well. And I mentioned that because we talked about that in the previous video here, and I could fill this out if I wanted to. Now, maybe I glazed over this and I apologize. To get to this end user portal, you're going to type web.tikit.ai/requests. Now, something to bear in mind that if you send just web.tikit.ai to your end users, if they're not an agent or an admin, they'll automatically be rerouted to /request. So you don't have to give them the full URL if you don't want to. Now, this is seeing this request offering in the visual service catalog, the Teams access request form. If I click add request here, I can also have a conversation, ask a question, and if Tikit is aware of what you're asking, it will provide back a form or a knowledge article. So in this example, I need access to a Microsoft Teams. It's going to search my service catalog. It's going to find that form and present that here. Now, this is the end user side. I also want to show you the agent side. So just to recap something that I mentioned, the moment I mentioned at the beginning part of this section, the moment I create this template, it becomes available to agents. So this is active and it's available to agents. So what I mean by that is that if I go to tickets here and I click on add ticket, excuse me, and I click on apply template, what you'll see here is that the apply template area has a Microsoft Teams access request option here. And this is the agent being able to apply this template and decide what they want to do with that form. They can send this form to the requester, or they can answer it themselves now or after the ticket is created. The idea here is that agents can also initiate templates inside of the web portal to be able to apply a template and use the forms to initiate business processes. Okay, this is where we're going to stop this part of the setup series video. Really hope you enjoyed the session. If you have any questions, please email team@cyerson.com.